Hi, welcome back to our channel and welcome to the stunning Otovar River in the Bohemian Czech Republic. The fly I'm going to tie is an emerger and it's featured in our Amazon ebook. So if you want to see the book, go and check it out. It's a fantastic book with some unique selling points. It shows you the fly from the fisher's vantage point. And all these flies are extremely effective and will work in rivers worldwide. They've been used in America, Europe, New Zealand, and they're absolute fish catchers. Now, emergers are particularly good at just catching the thread because they represent aquatic insects at the most vulnerable as they're emerging from the water. So trout and grayling can pinpoint them and target them, because they know they've got a realistic chance of reaching the fish, the fly, before it escapes from the surface of the water. This is a very simple emerger pattern, but it's extremely effective and it looks very realistic with a striated body. I'm using to form the body a stripped peacock quill. This is a golden olive, so we get a nice contrast between the dark and light side of the quill, and that gives a very nice striated pattern along the body. So I'm just going to catch in the tip of that like so, make sure it's firmly tied in, and take the thread towards the eye. And I'm going to leave maybe 4 or 5 millimeters from the eye, and then I'm going to wind the peacock quill with touching turns through the fly, up the hook shank, and this gives a fantastic realistic insect body appearance. And then when I'm a few millimeters from the end, I'll tie that off. Make sure it's firmly tied off, and then trim the tag end. Just make sure that's not going to come loose. There we go. So we've got that beautiful striated body effect. Now I'm going to dub on a little bit of a thorax, and you can use hare's ear dubbing, but today I'm going to use a little bit of CDC, which works as a good substitute. So I'm going to just dub on a little bit of dubbing to form the thorax, or the wing case of the insect, like so. So we've got a nice dubbing, and when we add the wing, the emerging wing of the insect, that will actually form a nice thorax. It's a little bit breezy and the CDC wants to be free. I'll just stick that under there. So what I'm doing is I'm pairing 2 CDC feathers, and I'll just add a couple of loose turns. So when we've paired our 2 CDC wings, we put them in with 2 loose turns, and then we're going to pull the wing until it's about the right length, so we get the right proportions for the natural insect. And when I'm happy with the proportion, I'll put some firm turns in front of the wing. Now we're going to form the wing case. I'll just shorten that a little more. That looks nice. Now we're going to form the wing case, the wing buds on the back of the emerger. So I'll go behind that thorax bump we formed and back in front, and then I'll fold the 2 CDC feathers over the top and put a couple of nice firm turns in there, and then back in front of the wing, so the thread is in the right position at the front of the fly. I'm just going to trim those 2 stalks, like so. And then put a couple more turns in front of the wing. And there you can see that fly, except for the whip finish, is complete. And I'm going to use a nice little tool to do the whip finish, because it's very awkward to whip finish on these style of flies. So I'm going to use this tube. And the wind's just getting up at the wrong time, making me a bit nervous. There we go. That's 1 whip in. Oh, shaking. 2 whips. So there we go. So that essentially is the finished fly. As I say, it's an incredible pattern. It catches fish all year round, and it's very attractive to both trout and grayling. It is featured in our ebook, so if you want to see the detailed tie and how it looks to the fish, go and check that out.